Holy crap, guys. This just dawned upon me. In Scream, Jenna Ortega's character said that she loves Hereditary, an A24 horror film. And look what film she's in now. X, an A24 horror film. I just found that to be really, really cool. So X is a new horror film written, directed, and edited by Ti West, and in X we follow a group of people who are in the adult industry who venture out to make what they claim to be the first serious pornographic film that will get them noticed. They find this farmhouse that they rent out from this old elderly couple who, when they get there, this couple has no idea what these guys are doing in that house. So as you all can imagine, when this elderly couple finds out what's actually going on, shit goes sideways. Alrighty guys, so let's get into X.
Excellent!
When it comes to Ti West himself, Ti West is a filmmaker I'm not too familiar with. Now, as far as I'm aware, the only horror film I've seen from Ti West is The House, the Devil, which is a really, really good horror film, a really good, slow burn horror film that reveals something really, really cool by the end of which I don't want to reveal in case you haven't seen it, but if you haven't seen The House, the Devil, I highly recommend it. But when I saw the trailers to this film, it looked like it could be a cross between Friday the 13th meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but with some softcore vibes to it. I didn't know what to expect from this movie, guys, and I gotta tell you all, this movie is a really, really good time. Jenna Ortega, I think, is great. I mean, like I said, coming out from Scream, who I thought was great in, and now X, I think that Jenna Ortega is on her way to becoming, who knows, maybe the next Scream Queen, because she has some great parts of this movie, and what I loved about her character is that she is somebody that at first, given what's going on in the film, you can imagine someone in her position with her character being a bit uncomfortable. As the film goes along, she starts to kind of be intrigued or entertained by the idea. Jenna Ortega is great. I thought she was really, really good. Brittany Snow, I loved her attitude so much in the film, and she brings this really sassy, but at the same time her character has this sort of wit to her that I really, really loved. Scott Mescudi, aka Kid Cudi, he is really, really good, bringing in some really great humor. There's a sequence involving him that I really, really loved. There's a guy in this movie, I can't remember what his name is, he plays the producer of the film, I'll put his name right here, but he brings some really great laughs in the film, in particular one that had me in the theater dying with laughter. The elderly couple in this film are great. Oh my god, they are creepy. The main standout here is Mia Goth in this film. The X factor, I should say, when it comes to the movie within a movie and X. And there are some aspects to her character to which they play around with certain things in her past. And when you see how certain things reveal, especially in the end, like there is a reveal in this movie that my jaw dropped. Whenever she is on screen, you are locked in on her. I mean, besides a particular scene that she is in, which it's nice. Mia Goth has charisma, she has great lines, and she has some pretty badass moments. One of my favorite aspects about X was not only the look and feel, but Ti West directing the film. This movie feels like a cross between Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th. X really does feel like an old-fashioned horror slasher film brought into the 2020s decade, and the way how Ti West is able to block and stage out every scenario, I thought was really just quite brilliant. The cinematography definitely gives that old-timey feel of a 70s or an 80s film but brought into the modern times. But again, with Ti West's directing sensibilities and the cinematography, there's a couple of shots here that I absolutely loved. One of the things that I want to talk about, and this is something that really threw me off guard and I loved about X, is everything going on that isn't happening with the horror elements or the film, you know, the softcore elements. The way that an elderly person may resent a younger person because of what an elderly person may not be able to do when they're older, and now they're saying, the things that you guys are able to do when you're younger and now that I cannot do when I'm older. Fucking kids. The way that the film looks at sex as well. I mean, there is a great conversation in which it involves Jenna Ortega, Mia Goth, and Brittany Snow. And Jenna Ortega asks a question, and the way that Brittany Snow answers this question saying, hey, we're young, we're not able to do this when we get older, so let's just have fun while we're at it. It was generally a monologue that took me off guard, and it was something that really made me appreciate X just that much more. One of the things I loved about the conversations that some characters have is that there's a couple of points throughout the film where essentially these guys are like, we want to make this serious, we want to actually get attention, we want to actually break out of that mold. The girls will essentially counter them saying, come on, you can't be serious. We know what people want to see. They want to see tits and ass. They want to see people getting screwed. They don't care about serious stuff when it comes to this line of work. Let's be real here, guys. When you watch any type of adult film, what do you watch those movies for? Be real with me. I wouldn't say X is particularly scary, but is it unsettling and disturbing? Oh, there's a couple of scenes that are like that. In particular, not gonna spoil the scene. I'm gonna just show you guys my reaction. This was my genuine reaction to a scene going on because it was that disturbing. They went there, holy crap. The movie is a slasher film, especially in that final act, and let me tell you guys right now, when it gets to that part, it is so much fun. There are a couple of kills this movie that not only had my jaw dropped, but there is one that had me laughing so hard. One of the other things that I loved about this movie was the editing. Now, like I mentioned earlier, Ti West did also edit the film. And the way how he cuts together these images and the sounds that play with them, I thought was really fucking cool. The way how he plays with subtle imagery before going on to the next sequence was really freaking awesome, and it was really just cool to say the least. In the film's ending, it brings up a huge thing, and I'm just gonna say it's a thing, and all I'm gonna say is this: knowing what they're doing next and knowing this reveal, I cannot wait.
Well, that's just fucking great!
There were a few issues that I had with X, only a couple of them I should say. There's a couple of characters that you just know that when you look at them, you know they're gonna die at a certain point. There's a couple of things in the film story that there are questions that are brought up that weren't answered. Now, I imagine that because there's more that's gonna be happening within the film story, because there is a prequel coming out, I think next year actually. Now, I imagine these questions will be answered with the next film, but I still can't help but feel there's a couple of things that were brought up that left me very, very confused. There are a couple of shots that I feel like linger on for just a tad bit too long.
And here we go.
So overall, X surprised me on so many levels. There's some awesome kills, some great what the fuck moments, and some moments that I genuinely did not see coming. I had such a great time with X, so all in all, guys, I'm gonna give X a 4 out of 5. And not only is X just a great time in the movies, but it's just a great throwback to the horror films, the 70s and the 80s. So comment down below and let me know, have you guys seen X yet? What'd you think? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I'm also on Snapchat, so if you guys want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links in the usernames are in the description below. I hope you all enjoyed my review of X. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for my latest review goes live. If you guys want to see any of my previous 2 reviews, please click either right there or right there. And of course, until my next review or video goes live, I'll see you all next time.